We will be submitting your audit report to the state auditor. We have to submit 2 hard paper copies, and we have to submit an electronic copy. We also have to assist the city in finishing your data collection form for a submission to the Federal Audit Clearinghouse, and those will all be done within the next 2 weeks. So,
As far as the segregation of duties, Tim, without the city hiring another person to kind of, separate those responsibilities, I mean, that's kind of what they.
right, I mean, if you do a cost benefit, it doesn't really benefit the city to spend more money on staff just to get rid of a segregation of duties. Because from time to time, vacations or whatever else, there's one person, not very often, but from time to time, one person left in the office, and it probably would be more expensive and not provide the added benefit to add staff just to take care of that issue. So we just think that that's where it comes into the overview, or your oversight that you provide over the monthly reports and the bills that are being paid to address those issues. So
Just kind of as a precautionary type of.
correct. That's part of, it'd be a good addition. Well, it would be a continued improvement to your internal control structure, I guess, is how I would say that.
Anything differently that we could do to handle like the deficit spending, like this year was Economic Development Office and the 13 district, I mean, there's nothing we can really do as far
Those
as
particular funds, are always at a deficit. I mean, they reimburse you a month later, or the drainage district only reimburses you when everyone gets assessed their drainage assessments. And so it becomes a challenge in those 2 particular areas to keep those in a positive balance. But I guess if it ever grew, I'd get more concerned. But but because they're a deficit, we have to mention that. The chamber office, the deficit's always about the same. I mean, it's pretty close to the same at the end of every year. And with the drainage district kind of wrapping up, I believe, or soon to wrap up, hopefully by the end of this year, that should be addressed as well, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
And the budget discrepancy was actually a revolving loan fund issue. So normally,
okay.
So when we get an application for a business that wants to use a revolving loan fund, it was unanticipated when the budget amendment came through, and it's almost impossible to calculate for that, because I don't think any of us thought that we'd be issuing $100,000 or more in revolving loan fund loans out of the central business district. So that was one of those things where you just don't have time to amend at that point, and it's better to have the note than to not issue the loan where you might lose a business downtown.
Sure.
So,
I mean, I would never recommend that you don't comply with the Code of Iowa, but it's not uncommon to see a budget issue from time to time. We do have some local governments that understand that they're going to overspend their budget, but they don't want to publish every time they do an amendment, so they just wait until May, and if they overspend before that, they just fix it all at the end of the year. I mean, we would recommend that you comply with the code whenever possible, but I understand the situation there, and we don't have a choice, but when it's overspent, but we have to put it in your audit reports, so.
And then I wasn't on the council at the time, but I would just like to commend the other council members on their handling of a business transaction with Jensen Trailers. I mean, Walt submitted a bid along with several other people, and so, Walt received the bid, so that was nice, so that says something for the integrity of the process and things like that. So it's nice to see that you guys were, recognized that and supported that decision, so that, congratulations to the people that handled that.
Yep.
That was done properly, and that's always nice to see, because you always wonder how things are being done, and so.
There would be a limit for, well, I mean, I'm sure it's in there, but for anything over 1,500 that you would do, you need to go through those steps.
Mhm.
Anything else? Any other questions?
Thank you.
We
Yes,
appreciate it.
have a
Thanks,
nice
Jim.
night.
Thanks, Tim. Up next, We need a motion to approve the renewal of a Class C beer permit, Class B wine permit, outdoor service privilege, and Sunday sales privilege for Hy-Vee Incorporated doing business as Hy-Vee. Everything in order, Gloria?
Yes, it is.
Go move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Under resolutions, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2014-32. A resolution approving the preliminary official statement for the $1,885,000 in general obligation capital loan notes, Series 2014A.
The preliminary official statement basically gives a snapshot to anybody who's interested in the issuance of the financials of the city, the economics of the city. It's actually a really well-rounded picture of what's going on in Humboldt for somebody who might be 1,000 miles away who's interested in buying that debt. So just sets that in motion, gives the council's approval of that statement, and then we'll move forward with the other procedures and then subsequent council meetings.
Move we approve. Second.
Roll call vote.
Goodell,
Aye.
Slater,
Aye.
Scholl,
Aye.
Rusher,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2014-33. A resolution setting a date for the open burning of landscape waste.
This sits April 12th as the date for the burn day, the spring burn day. If you remember, this was a swap from a fall day to a spring day that we had maybe a year or two ago. This avoids two things that were concerns, that will always be concerns, is making sure it's not next to Easter and making sure that it's not on prom weekend or something like that. And then also making sure that it's before brush pickup, so if there is any chance of getting rid of some extra work for the guys, that it can be taken care
So we know it's gonna rain at least that weekend.
of. Yeah, exactly.
It seems to rain every year, so we know it's gonna rain.
Mark your calendar.
Pretty well guaranteed, so.
Well, no, it'll only rain for 2 days before.
Oh, okay.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call vote.
Slater,
Aye.
Scholl,
Aye.
Rusher,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Goodell.
Aye.
Next, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2014-34. A resolution proposing, number I, the vacation of, that should be one, I think. One, the vacation of parcel of land in the city of Humboldt, being Knights Boulevard, Blackbird First Edition of the city of Humboldt, Humboldt County, Iowa, as recorded in the office of the Humboldt County Recorder in miscellaneous book 1, page 311, and 2, the subsequent conveyance thereof, and 3, affixing a date for the public hearing thereof.
This is simply starting the process for the sale of Knights Boulevard. Talked with the landowners. They are interested in moving forward with the conversation that Ben Nedved had with the council at the previous meeting. They're supportive of it. Obviously, you have to go through the normal process of vacation and then public hearing and disposition. So with that in mind, I think that there is a buyer out there, so it makes sense to go through this process at this point.
Move we approve. Second.
Roll call vote.
Scholl,
Aye.
Rusher,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Goodell,
Aye.
Slater.
Aye.
That's the last for regular scheduled items this evening. Aaron?
I guess just wanted to run down a few things that are going on with different departments. Street department has been out in force trying to take care of frozen storm sewers. Lots of ponding issues when the melt comes up. The storm sewers are freezing 60+ feet into the line, and so they go through and jet it out and get them cleaned, and come back 3 days later and do the same thing. So they're fighting a little bit of a battle with the frost as deep as it is. But I think they've done a really good job of keeping those clear and getting those ponding issues taken care of, even after hours in some cases. Leroy's going out and trying to get them cleaned up if they look like they're really causing problems. Continuing to work with the engineer on the seal coating, getting some information together to bring that back to the council, so that's why you don't have anything right now, but we'll get information back to you as soon as possible. The bridge, we talked about it, I guess, just a little bit prior to the meeting, but CenturyLink is out there. You know, I think it's moving forward. I still have grave concerns with how soon that process will be finished and CenturyLink will be off the bridge. The contractor mentioned some very long time frames that would basically preclude us from getting the job done before the Topeka Shiner period would kick in. If that does happen, then they can't get anything done, they can't get the cofferdams built, they can't work for 3 months. We're dealing with everything going on in the fall. So I have stressed it in about as strong a terms possible to CenturyLink that there's some extreme disappointment that this wasn't taken care of prior to now, and that we are now waiting for a utility to get off the bridge that's owned by the city to replace, demolish the bridge and get the bridge rebuilt. So, very concerned, very unhappy. I've spoke with about as high up as management as I can about this issue, and I hope that they really stress to their contractor that it's important that it get completed. I don't know what else to do. The engineer from the city has talked with CenturyLink. I've talked with CenturyLink. We've had communication with them for, probably the last year, really in depth, and they've known for much longer than that this bridge was coming down, from the point that the city council authorized the planning prior to me being here. So I mean, it's well over 4 years ago that we started this conversation. So, it's just disappointing. We'll work to try and keep it on schedule, but they're, even with them in town at this point, I don't know if we make the time frame that we really need, so that we can get the cofferdams in place before that time frame kicks in. So there's the bad news. Good news. Talk about the swans. The swans will be released to the wild probably within the next 2 weeks. So there'll be 5 that have come out of 5 this season that came out of the pond there, and the new nest is ordered. I think Clayton will be picking that up soon, so everything will start over again with the swans. I know a lot of people are very interested in them, so I want to give everybody one last chance to go down and see the 5 before they're off flying around in your neighborhoods or whatever. So outside of that, you'll see in front of you the police department has provided a lot of information with what sort of incidents they dealt with and phone calls. That is a overview of the dispatches for the police department over the last, since February. You can see they spent a lot of time with ambulance calls, traffic stops, assisting the public. You got lifting stuff, welfare checks, and it doesn't include like phone calls for information, things like that. But I thought it was nice that Dean provided this. I think that's, a lot of times we don't hear about the good work that they're doing, and the sort of day-to-day stuff that they deal with. You only see the big stuff in the newspaper. So, sorry, Ken. But so just gives you a snapshot. On the other side, they've also been doing a lot with ordinance enforcement to address some of the parking concerns and sidewalks and some of those issues. So, been very helpful in that respect. I think carrying out the wishes of the council and mayor and myself as far as addressing some of those ordinance issues we see around town that we talk about in the meetings. I guess last and most significant, we're starting to work on the pool to try and get that ready for the upcoming year. We still have to replace a main drain and some other equipment that's in the pool to get it ready for the upcoming year. Some of that work just had to stop last year. All the equipment's there, but we ran out of weather that was conducive with replacing things like that. So once we get a little bit more warming, Clayton and the guys will be working to get everything tuned up and ready for the next season.
Any thoughts at all on going after the people that designed the pool yet, or are we not gonna go there yet?
I have talked to the attorney, to the city attorney, and he's supposed to be coming in to talk to the council to potentially go into closed session to discuss any issues that might exist with the pool. But, I guess that's what I've got.
Okay. Gloria?
Nope, I don't have anything.
Daryl?
No.
Joel?
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
The only thing, Recognize service anniversaries for the month of March for Officer Aaron Bennett and Officer David Jones. I think they're both starting their 6th year of service for the city, so thank you.
Awesome.
Hey, one thing else, last meeting, I know we received that letter from the DOT regarding our request for the four-way stop. Did you make that announcement at that time, Aaron? or-
No, actually, I forgot. That's good that you brought that up.
Okay.
I forgot to announce that at that point, but I put it in front of everybody and then
Yes,
just
you
ran
did.
out of
I know it.
ran out of brain power or steam or whatever. But the DOT did grant the authorization for a four-way stop at 3rd Avenue North and Highway 169 during the length of construction to allow for turning traffic off 169 onto 169. They analyzed several different methods of addressing that intersection and found that the four-way stop would be the most efficient way to address that, considering even using potential, signaled or was it triggered intersections. I can't think of the word, but they found that that was the best method. They used the numbers that we had from the traffic count up at Wildcat Road and assumed that every vehicle that went through Wildcat Road would now be using 3rd Avenue North. And using those numbers, they had the warrant to put in the four-way stop. So the stop will have warnings in front of it, warnings on both sides, flashing light over the top of it. It'll be very similar to what you see up on Wildcat Road, only temporary and will be removed after the bridge is replaced.
Good.
It is.
Mhm.
The only bad news, we still don't have a way to get the kids up there.
Yeah.
The ones that walk,
Yeah.
I know it.
And that's a lot, but
Unless
that's-
they would, what do you think, meet it at Taft School and get bused up there? Is that something that school is gonna have to address, or?
A lot of kids just are gonna walk anyway, a lot of people walk. I mean, it's just something that's gonna be a concern throughout this whole process anyway. And I don't know how we're gonna get past it, but it is gonna be a concern anyway, so. So we, I guess we'll be playing it by ear and hopefully, if something comes of something bad, then I guess we'll have to decide, if there's a way to get around something or make a decision at that point, but we'll just have to play it by ear for now anyway, so. There's, and I guess we can talk about this afterwards, but there is some homes in